On Saturday, October 20th, the Ball State Cardinals faced the Broncos from Western Michigan for the 8th game of the regular season and to continue MAC play. The players were charged up before the beginning of this one. Moving into the first quarter, 7 minutes remaining, and Mike Jones on to attempt the field goal, and he's good from 45 yards. Western Michigan goes ahead 3-0. Now moving into the second, the Broncos on Ball State's 1 yard line, and Tim Hiller would punch it in for Western Michigan. Mike Jones in to attempt the extra point, and that's through the uprights, extending the Broncos' lead 10-0. Ball State would answer. Nate Davis rolling to his right, and he'd find Joe Everett for the 34-yard touchdown. Everett's only catch on the day. Ball State cuts the lead 10-7. About 9 minutes left to play in the half. Nate Davis under center on Ball State's 42-yard line, and he'd find Lewis Johnson. Johnson breaking a couple tackles. He'd take that one down for 51 yards. Davis's longest pass of the day. Ball State would settle for the field goal, and Jake Hogue is good from 40 yards. The Broncos would answer with a field goal of their own from 33 yards. So at the half, Western Michigan leads 13-10. Let's pick things up in the third quarter. Nate Davis under center, rolling to his right, and he'd hook up with Lewis Johnson for 15 yards. Jake Hogue on to attempt the field goal, and he's good from 22 yards, 2 for 2 on the day. Ball State ties the game 13-13. Western would take the lead, though, hitting the field goal from 29 yards. About 40 seconds later, Ball State with a little trickery. Dante Love over to Nate Davis, who would find Lewis Johnson for the 44-yard touchdown on the double pass. With 10:01 left to play, Ball State goes ahead 20-16, and the cheerleaders were showing their support for the Cardinals. Less than 30 seconds off the clock, and Tim Hiller, well, his pass is complete to Jordan White, who take it in for the 50-yard touchdown. This puts the Broncos ahead 23-20. Moving ahead, about 2 minutes left to play. Nate Davis in the shotgun, hands off to Frank Edmonds, who breaks it for a big run, taking it down to the 13-yard line. That was a 25-yard run. On the next play, Nate Davis in the shotgun. He'd find Dante Love, who would take it down to the 2-yard line. 2 plays later, Davis hands off to Frank Edmonds, who punches it in for the 1-yard touchdown. Ball State goes ahead 27-23 with 1:07 left on the clock. Ball State's defense would seal the deal, tipped by number 6 and intercepted by Bryant Haynes. Ball State holds on for the victory, and the Ball State faithful are on hand to witness this one as Ball State wins it 27-23. Stats for Ball State: Nate Davis 25 of 48, 358 yards and 2 touchdowns. Lewis Johnson only 3 receptions, but 110 yards receiving and 1 touchdown. Dante Love 11 receptions for 101 yards receiving. Joe Everett 1 reception, but he made it count, 34 yards and a touchdown. Frank Edmonds 41 yards rushing, 20 receiving and a touchdown. And Brandon Crawford, well, he led the team in tackles with 10, had 6 solo and 2 sacks. Interesting facts: weekly honors, Crawford was named MAC West Defensive Player of the Week. Chris Miller, MAC West Special Teams Player of the Week. Darius Hill, John Mackey, Tight End of the Week. And it's the second time this year that Ball State has intercepted the ball 3 times in a game. And there was a record broken. Nate Davis' 20 touchdown passes this season is a new single-season record for BSU.